uh, a function, it's a set of statements, okay, that is used to perform an operation, whatever it may be, okay. For example, we say I'm going to do an addition operation, okay, on my application for n number of times, okay. There is an instance that I require this operation to be performed on my application for n number of times, okay. The same task is going to perform, okay. So every time I don't want to create a statement like c equal to a plus b, d equal to e plus f. So I don't want to create like this, okay. Instead of that, what we can do is we can create a function, okay. It's a defined function, okay. It's a defined function, we call it as function definition pattern, okay. So that function, that defined function, can be invoked or called during the main execution of the program, okay. So whenever we require that function, at that point we can call that function, okay. So there are two kinds, which means we can say like it has three parts function. Hello, yes, we're seeing only white screen, why? Now this one, can you able to see this notepad? Okay, okay, done. Yes, this function has three parts actually, okay. One is function prototype, okay, then second one is function definition, and third is function call, okay. So these are the three parts present in the function, okay. So we are going to write the syntax for function first, okay. How the function will be like. Return type, function name, argument 1, argument 2, etc. Okay, this is what we can simply call this as function definition syntax, okay. Function definition. So within this block you will be giving a set of statements, that is operation statements, okay. And this function prototype, I told you na, the first one na. So the first one will be like this, the same, with semicolon, okay. For that arguments and all, we need to specify the data type, that I'll tell you in program, okay. For R1, R2 and all, we need to give data type, whether it is an integer data type or floating point data type, we need to mention that I tell you, okay. So this is what the thing, this is with a semicolon, this is called as function prototype, okay. And this is function definition, and in your main program you will be calling the function, okay. Here we'll have function call. So function call, for this we need to specify that function name, okay, function name of, okay. Here we can pass the values for that arguments that I tell you, okay. Simply you will be calling the function by using function name. That is without here you no need to give return type and all. Okay, here I have given a return type. So data type return type, which means integer return type or floating point return type, we can give like that. Okay, so that return type is not required during function call. Okay, so these are the three parts we see in function. Okay, I'm going to program so simply shall we do this one area of circle, circumference 2 pi r we can do, or else a square. We'll do this 2 pi r. Okay, okay, we'll do that operation by using this functions. Okay, this is what function name circumference I'm giving. For this, how many arguments we require? Only radius. Only radius. 2 pi is fixed, right? So we need only radius, right? So I'm just giving int r here. Okay. This is what function prototype. Okay. Then I'm just giving my main radius. Just passing the value for radius. I'm just giving 25. And we need one result also. Result equal to, I'm calling the function circumference. Circumference of still I didn't write that function definition part. I have to. Okay. In space circumference of int r, here I am giving in circum equal to 2 cross 3.14 cross r. Written circle. This one is result, right? Circumference result is 157. Okay, see, actually here what we did is, this is what function prototype. Okay. Sorry, I don't get you. Int main? Yeah, this is for the execution of the program. This is for the execution. Yeah, initially what we can do is that, see, if you are going to define the function on top itself, you no need to proceed with function prototype. Simply here you can give the definition part and you can use this function. Just see. Now also you are getting the result. Okay. Okay. Here what I am doing is that I am just writing my main program, that is main part. Okay. And after that, that is below that main function, I am just writing all my functions. What are the defined functions I have for that application? I am going to define the entire things after that. Okay. So that is also one way. This is also another method. You can use like this also. Okay. What did you ask? What did you ask? Actually, we are segregating the data. Okay. So main this is what the program. This is what the program. Okay. And these are the functions to be included in the main program. These are the part to be invoked on the main program. That is what here we are invoking, right? This is what function call. Here I might have so many functions also like this. Int x, int y. Z equal to x plus y. Right and z. Okay. So I might have so many functions for the application. Those functions that's why what I made, I brought all these functions down. Okay, to get clear picture of the view, I'm just using this, nothing more than that. So if you are going to define the function after the main program, it is mandatory to add the function prototype. Okay, it is mandatory to add the function prototype, or else if you are going to define the function on the top itself, you no need to give that function prototype. Okay, so function prototype is nothing but this is the return type. What is the output you are going to get for this circumference? Circumference means definitely it's going to be a numerical value, integer value. Okay, so I'm just using this integer return type, and this is my function name. Function name, that is user defined. Yes, that is user defined. We can give any names for this. Okay, and here we are passing arguments. So within that bracket we call that as arguments. Okay, arguments means nothing but the variables. Okay, these are called as formal arguments, formal parameters. We can say it as formal parameters. Okay, formal. Actual parameter is this one, RAD. RES is the actual parameter, which means actual argument, we can say. Okay, so because this is coming from the main program. Okay, but these are the variables created in the function part. Okay, so those are called as formal parameters or arguments. So parameters, arguments are nothing but variables, Girish. Okay, but there are some terms. Okay, so if we use in definition function part, we call that as formal parameter, but in the main program we call it as actual parameters. Actual parameters means which we are using in the program, that is in a main program. Yes, variables. Okay, so we are changing the terms, that's it. Okay, we are changing the terms here. Yes, this one, the data type should be there, and the variable, r variable I have used. Okay, in definition part also I have given that same name, function name circumference, again int r. Okay, in function definition I have created a variable in circum. Okay, so this variable is going to have my result part. Okay, so 2 cross 3.14 cross r. Okay, this is what the work, this is what the operation for that program, which means for that function. Okay, I'm sorry, for that function. Okay, and this r value, where we are getting this r value? From the main program. From the main program we are getting the r value using rad variable, rad, which is what a actual parameter. Okay, which is what a actual variable. Okay, see, in main program there is one there is one requirement for performing circumference operation. So I have an input now. I need to pass that input to the circumference function. Okay, so that input is nothing but rad. I have created that rad value is 25. So it is carrying circumference of 25. So it just checks for the circumference function. It enters there. Okay, and that rad, the rad value, is copied into the r variable 25. Okay, so that value is passed here. Okay, so this r catches the rad value, radius value. Okay, and here that 25 is substituted. Okay, you will get the circumference, circum output. Okay, okay, fine. Now we got the result in circum. Okay, here itself after this 18th line I can give one printf statement there itself. Okay, so for example, this is what the first thing I need to tell you, like this. Printf just commenting this line. Okay, this is what the case. Okay, which means this one is function with argument and no return type. Okay, here what I am doing is that this is a type of the function actually. Okay, function with arguments means because I am passing the argument here, rad. Okay, and my function definition and my function prototype, all these have an argument. Okay, so these are the function with arguments. Okay, and now listen, here what I made is that I created the circum variable. I'm just storing the output result in circum. I'm just printing that. Okay. So with the help of 11th line, which means circumference function has been called na here, 11th main program. At that point, circumference of 25 is passed here. The operation is carried over and it is printing the statement in the function itself. Okay. Now let me save this file. The circum result is 157. Okay. Okay. See here, I'm not getting the printf statement, that is result operation in the main program, but in the function definition itself I'm just performing that result. I'm just performing that operation, which means there is no requirement for the return type. There is no return type. If there is a return type means what will happen? Okay, that is what my next scenario. Okay, see here, it doesn't have return type, that's it. Just we are yes. mm, 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 yes. Okay, so it is printing the statement, which means it is printing the value. Okay, that's all, that work is over. Okay, and now there is a scenario. Okay, I want that circum result value, circum result. Now I got now that 157. I need that value on my main program, because I'm going to add a 50, a value 50 to that 157, which means 157 plus 50 I'm going to do now. Okay, I want to get that value, that result. Okay, the result which we are getting in that function, I want that value in the main program, Okay, so for that scenario here we need to return the circum. Okay, I'm just returning this circum. So in order to get this value, I'm just creating one result variable here, res, in order to store the result. Are you getting, Girish? Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay, it is again jumping to the 11th line now. Okay, so which means that the variable on left hand side I have created na result. It is nothing but it is going to get the value of circum. Okay, and that circum value is getting stored on res. Okay, then I can use this printf statement. Now this will work. Okay, now I told you now with the result I'm going to add some 50, value 50 to that result. Okay, so I have already created the addition function also. I can use that function. Okay, I'm going to use that function now. Just see. What is that? Add function. Add of. Okay. Add of. This one is first argument is result, res, and the value 50 I am going to pass. Okay. Directly I am passing. Okay. Which means this one search for the add function. Okay. That 157 will be stored in x and 50 will be stored in y. Okay, it adds these two. Okay, and this is also returning. Okay, return z I have used. Okay, so you can create one more variable, final. I'm just giving one more variable, final. Okay. 157 plus 50, I got 207. Okay, the first one is circum result is this one inside. This one. Okay, and again I am returning that, again it is printing the circumference result, again the final result. So it has 3. Yes, only these two will be yes. So if you don't want this now, you can comment this. Okay, you will get that circumference result and final result. Okay. Okay. Can you able to follow, Girish, this one? Okay. See, if you see some more programs now, definitely you will understand. Okay. And see here, now this is the case with initially I told you with arguments and no return type. Okay. Now this one, this concept what I have made is with arguments with return type, because I am using that also, with argument with return type and return type. Okay, and yeah, we have 4, I tell you. Those are rather simple things. Function with no arguments and return type. Simply I'm just using void display of. Here space display of. This return 0 is for this main. From the beginning we are doing this, you know that, right? There is no confusion on this, right? Next one, return 0. That you know, right? From the beginning we are doing that. So here, it returns numerical. So display here so here you can see with no arguments, no return type. Okay, simply what I made is that I have created one prototype main function. Simply I have printed a statement, welcome to function. Okay. Welcome to functions. Okay. And this is what no arguments I carried here. Okay, no arguments carried and no return type. Okay, no arguments, no return type. For printer, yes, for printing alone we use that. Okay, and another thing is with the arguments we have done all three with the arguments and no return type. What is the last one we need to do? With the arguments with no arguments and return type. Yes, with no arguments and return type. Here what I am doing is one more function we create. It has return type. I'm just giving int get off. There is no argument. X equal to get off in space get off. Here I'm just x equal g is equal to 89, return g. Okay, so that g value gets stored in x. Am I right? X. Int. Okay, so this is what the case. So these are simple cases actually. With these we don't create functions and all. Okay, the first file here I have created now. So this is what very important. Okay, so always the function will be having some arguments and some values to be returned to the main program. Okay, so this is for the case for functions. Okay, Girish, do you have any doubts? This program, the second program is very simple. This one with no arguments, no written type, no arguments and written type. How it will be? That's what the same has been implemented in the first program also. Okay, we can do that. Okay, but the correct procedure we can say that it should have some arguments. Okay, and that arguments to be performed for using that is, if you want to do some calculation at that time, those arguments will be carried to the function definition part, and after performing that calculation, it moves to the main program. Okay, so it moves to the main program. So it depends moving to the main program or not. It depends, because if you don't want that result in the main program, you can straightly print in the main in the function definition itself, okay. If you want to use that result value to be used in some other operation, at that time we want that value in the main program. Okay, you should have the difference between these two. Okay, that is both the case. Okay, and sorry, which file? This file I'll send you, these programs I'll send you. What else you want? You want this notepad also? Yes, here itself I made. Okay, see, finally after completing this C program, I'll send you the complete documentation, Girish. Okay, at that time you'll have that reference and all. Okay, are you using their C++ for running your program, or else some other compilers you are using? Their C++, you are working on it, right? Okay. And now the topic is, we are going to see call by value, call by reference. Okay, two things are there. Okay, I tell you using an example. And then the function is increment of P value is 10. See, this is what actual parameter, okay, and this one is formal parameters, you know, right? Here what I am doing is that see here, I'm just passing the value 10 for P, okay, so I'm just incrementing the P value, okay, so I'm just calling this increment function, so that P value, the 10 is carried here, carried to the function definition part, and it is getting 10 plus 1 equal to 11. Now the P value here will become 11. Am I right? Am I right? But here in the main program, when I try to print the value of P, what would be the output? Actually, this is what the parameter present in the main program. It doesn't have any relationship with the formal parameter. This P is different, this P is different. Okay, so yes, exactly. Okay, so it doesn't reflect the value, which means the actual parameter value it doesn't reflect, which means the formal parameters are different, actual parameters are different. After incrementing also, I don't get the incremented value. I'll get only the existing value present in the main program. Okay, this is what called by value. I'm passing the value, but that value it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect. It has its originality. It has its originality. Last class I told you na, in order to maintain the originality, we copied that A and B values to X and Y. I told you na. In which program? In which program? Yes, in HCF and LCM we have seen that. So that is also an example for this call by value. Okay, there also that swapping operation, that LCM and GCD and all, you can do that by using functions. All the operations can be done by using functions. Okay, so simply here by seeing the statement, what all will think that after this increment function this should be incremented, but this is not the case. It doesn't reflect. Okay, it does not affect the actual parameters value. That is what the call by value. Okay, so you should know the difference between actual parameter and formal parameters. Okay, so actual parameter does not change. Okay. There you will get 11. If you get that, if you use that printf statement within that increment function for printing that P value, you will get 11. Yes, that you can give. Here this you will get like 11 and 10. Okay, are you getting? So this increment operation is done and this is done. What I am trying to say is that both the parameters are different, completely different. It doesn't affect the originality of the value. Okay, so that is what the call by value. So when if you want to define a statement for this, you need to compare this actual parameter and formal parameters. You should say like this: actual parameter does not gets affected in call by value. Okay, but in case of call by reference, actual parameter gets affected. Okay, that is what the next program we are going to see. Okay. but that is with the help of pointers, Girish. Okay, pointers, it's a fresh topic that I'll teach you, but now you just have what is meant by pointer and how this call by reference is performed on that. Okay. Here we use pointer, use address, this will be like this. Eleven. Okay, see what is this? I tell you. Actually, this reference is nothing but we are having the address term here, address. Okay, which means usually if the variable, actually we have a variable called p here, p, right? So p is having some value 10, and that 10 holds some address. 10 holds some address. Always all the variables will have an address. In scanf statement I told you already, scanf, yes, so address will be there. Okay, so if we point out the address, that means an pointers concept actually. Okay, you can simply the first thing will be an address, and second you will be having that value, and on the left hand side of that value you will have the variable name. Okay, which means like this, this is a variable name, and here you will have that address, and here you will have that value 10. Okay, this is what the structure of the pointer actually. Okay, here that pointer is nothing but it is pointing a value. That value holds an address. Okay, that value holds an address. Yes, Girish, tell me. Yes, that pointer is pointing a value. Okay, pointing a value, and that value holds an address actually. Okay, here what we are doing, see in depth I tell you in pointers concept, actually it stores the address of the another variable. There is some concept that I tell you. Okay, but here you just keep this point in your mind, like I'm just passing the address of the p here. Okay, star p, here I have used now in definition asterisk p. Asterisk is nothing but pointer. It is a notation for pointer. Okay, here I am passing the address, but this pointer is catching the value. Are you catching the value? It is catching the value. It is catching 10. But here I am passing the address. Simply I am passing the address, Girish. Okay, I am passing the address, but it is not storing the address. Actually, it is storing the value in function definition. Are you getting? Here I am just passing the address. For example, P's address is, I told you now that mm56. Okay, this is what an address. So this address is passed there. Okay, but it is catching the value, not an address, because it is pointing. It's a pointer variable. Yeah, we can simply say that pointer is a variable. It stores the address of the another variable, which means this is another variable actually. P is, simply we can say this is an actual parameter, that's a formal parameter. Both are different. Both variables are different. This p is different, that p is different. Okay, but this actual parameter p is passing an address. Okay, but the formal parameter of p, it is getting the value of that address. Okay, actually it is also carrying the value, Girish. Okay, but in terms of reference, we are passing the by using an address. That is what called by reference. Call by reference. At that point, what will happen is this star p. The star p will have a value 10. 10 plus 1 will become 11. Okay, because since this pointer hello call got disconnected, Girish. Yes, it is automatically disconnected. Yeah, that's why. See, simply here we can say the star p equal to ampersand p. This is what the case, Girish. Exactly. Yes. Okay. But it is carrying the value only. That star p is carrying the value of that specified address. Okay. So this is what the case for that. So at that time, what happens? This address and that pointer is interrelated. Okay. So that actual parameter p value, it gets affected. Okay. So that's why here also we are getting 11, here also we are getting 11. Okay, this is what call by reference means. You should remember this. Ampersand of some variable we need to pass. So that function definition should have pointer. Two things you need to keep it in your mind. Okay, one is pointer should be in the function definition and the address should be passed from the main program. Okay, that no. Actually, it is describing the address. It is describing the address. What you are saying is it is referring to that p only, that integer data type only. Okay, but it is passing the address of that p. It is not passing that value 10. It is not passing the value 10. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Since because it is having a pointer. If there is no pointer, this concept is not possible. Okay, so that is a speciality of pointer that I teach you in brief while coming to the pointers topic. Okay, fine. So this is for topic sake I told you now. Okay, so in order to complete this call by reference concept, I told you. So you should keep this point in mind, that star p equal to ampersand p. Okay, this is what the today's class. Okay, I'm just completing with this. We have one more topic in this function. Recursive function is there, that I'll teach you tomorrow. Okay, and you just go through all these 4 files today. Okay, today I'm not giving you any work. You just go through this topic, and if you have time, just create a swapping program using function. Swapping program using functions. Okay, you need to write that concept in a function, swap function. Then you need to call the swap function. You need to show the result. Okay, So if you have time, you just do that, or else you just refer all these 4 programs. Okay, I send you now. Okay, and you yeah, exactly, definitely I'll do that. Okay, you just share me what you have done. Okay, you just share me that file. Okay, you share me through email, I'll check into that. Tomorrow we'll discuss the same, right? Okay, okay, fine, Girish, thank you so much for the time. Thank you, bye bye.